Brandon Steckler with Motor Age Magazine and Vehicle Service Pros. And today I'm with you to present yet another episode of Mastering Diagnostics. We are on episode number 33, and this one is about running a new tool through the gauntlet. In other words, through the proving grounds. Now, those of you that know me, my friends across the world, realized I had a pretty unique opportunity here of late. Within the last several months, I transitioned back into the workshop. I don't want to say full time, but probably 75% of the time as a role model, as a team leader, as an in-house instructor, if you will. So my role's a little bit management, a little bit shop foreman, little bit diagnostician, a little bit technician, and a little bit training instructor. As I mentioned, it's quite a unique position. Certainly something I've always dreamed about, but have never done before. But here's the reason I tell you that. I am now in a position to be even more like all of you, right? Even more hands-on on the day-to-day. So instead of just demonstrating tools and testing techniques that I've learned over the years, I now can show you more real life contributions as I encounter them on the day to day in the workshop. So as always, my approach to solving any problems as a technician, as a diagnostician, is always to err on the side of accuracy, right? We've said that time and time again. We have to be accurate. Otherwise, our job means absolutely nothing. It's simply a hobby that we are practicing at. So to remain accurate is absolutely crucial to the longevity of our business and the satisfaction of our customers. And let's face it, our satisfaction as technicians, did we do a good job? But where really things really come together is where we combine accuracy and efficiency all in one. So this is where we count on our tools for leverage. We count on our tools along with our knowledge of how things work, right? Our fundamental knowledge and access to service information so we can get that just-in-time learning completed, the information we need pertinent to the system and the components we are working on to make these diagnostic decisions accurately. And these tools are what we lean on the day-to-day. And some tools work really, really good on some cars and not so good on other cars. Other tools work pretty good and are relatively inexpensive. Some tools are very expensive and they work great. Um, there's all different combinations of factors we have to consider as technicians, individual technicians buying tools on our own, or as shop owners making investments through the workshop that we can count on and hopefully achieve that rapid return on investment, because that's what it's all about. The faster we get our tools paid off, the more of that revenue turns into profit. So as always, not every tool is built the same. The idea behind it is where the manufacturer invests their research and development in. And what I'm referring to is ECU accessibility, meaning the vehicle might offer the information, but if the scan tool isn't capable of decoding that information and presenting it to us as technicians, it doesn't do us any good. Secondly, we have to consider the features the scan tool allows us to leverage. What I mean by that is this. If I can sit in the driver's seat and push a few buttons to set up a data grab where I can make decisions about, is something happening the way it should, or is something not happening the way it should, that's something desirable to have. Our ability to make quick, rapid decisions from the driver's seat with very little time or energy invested is crucial to our efficiency while we maintain our accuracy. So as I mentioned, being in the shop now, I have the opportunity to exercise tools. And I got to tell you, I got my hand on a tool that I've never used before. I've never seen it used before. Matter of fact, I haven't really heard much about it. It's called the Prodigy by a company called XTOOL. And as I mentioned, I got my hands on this tool. And let me tell you a little quick story about how my day-to-day goes, or I should say my month. I spend several weeks here at home in my office providing technical support over the phone and over the internet and training to my team out in the state of Louisiana at Future Auto Repair. And in my weeks that I'm on site, I'm there 2 weeks straight. So when I got this XTOOL in my hands, I sent it down to Louisiana with me, and I told myself, just for the sake of doing it for sport, I'm going to use this XTOOL on every car I need a scan tool for, and I'm not going to deviate away from it. I'm going to use this for everything and try and optimize the tool's use for my own personal gain. I want to exercise it and use every feature I possibly can. And that's what I did for 2 weeks straight. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, I'm extremely, extremely impressed by this tool's performance. I want to tell you a bit about it. First and foremost, being a full-service shop that specializes in diagnostics, that specializes in last chance repairs on all makes and models, including gasoline, diesel, hybrid electric vehicles. Um, we see everything from all over town. And with that, I need a tool that is capable of performing well on the domestic vehicles, on the European vehicles, on the Asian vehicles. And as I mentioned before, this tool so far has done it all for me. Not once has it let me down, and that really, really speaks volumes to its performance. What I love about it is the speed. As I mentioned, accuracy is important to me, but efficiency as well. So to be able to turn on a scan tool and have to wait 20, 30 seconds or longer for it to boot up gets me antsy. Being able to turn on a scan tool and have it boot up in just a handful of seconds and be ready to rock and roll excites me because I can get moving. I'm not held up. There's no pinch point there. And when the scan tool does boot up, you're faced with a suite-like homepage. One-time push-button navigation along with one of the fastest processing speeds in the industry. This scan tool really, really gets rocking and rolling fast. And I'm not just talking about OBD2 generic data. I'm talking about enhanced OE level software features, being able to manipulate different components in different systems across the entire vehicle, whether it's a domestic, an Asian, or a European. This tool does it. But for me, it's a little bit more than that. I understand being capable of replacing a component and programming a component and lining it up or configuring it. These post software flash routines is what we need to finish the job. Like I said, it's one thing to be able to program a unit, but if you can't finish the job, it really means nothing because now you have to call in for outside help, and that takes time and costs money. But more important than that for me is the other beneficial features that this tool offers. Being a diagnostician, for me, being able to look at data is absolutely crucial to my day-to-day. And the best way I go about evaluating data is in graphical format. And this is right up this tool's alley. This tool boasts two different types of graphing capabilities. A traditional type where you see graph upon graph stacked vertically upon one another, which offers great insight to how systems are behaving and how components interact with one another. In other words, action-reaction comparative measure. But it also offers a two-dimensional graph that allows you to graph up to 4 PIDs simultaneously and in different colors with adjustable X and Y axes. So we can make these PIDs appear more drastic when changes occur, or we can put more time on the screen to capture more data during a road test. It makes it very, very beneficial and easy to diagnose cars when you can see interactivity from that perspective. But listen, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take a look at this vehicle I was faced with. One of my technicians approached me after hours, and she asked me if her and I could both analyze her roommate's vehicle together. It seems they were experiencing a shudder as the vehicle was driven under certain speeds and load ranges. As the vehicle was driven, whether you were in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, it felt as though somebody picked up the car and shook it. There was a pretty violent vibration that took place, but again, only under certain vehicle speed and load ranges. With this information, we sought out some data from the transmission control module. We were able to plot out rotational speeds of the input and output shaft of the transmission along with engine RPM. And leveraging the 2D combination graph in multiple colors, we were able to plot out all four of these shaft speeds over time. A simple road test to the vehicle to reproduce the concern of the shudder made light work of the diagnosis. It's clear to see that the shudder being felt was a rapid change in speed on the input side of the transmission, meaning the torque converter clutch was shuddering. Why is this important? Because this diagnosis was made directly from the driver's seat without ever even opening the hood. And it's information like this presented in this format that allows for a very, very rapid and accurate, efficient diagnosis. Now, operating as a technician in the shop is one thing, but being able to interact with your team is another. After all, it takes a team to accomplish a goal. So being upfront and having a close relationship with my customer-facing team members, I'm able to share data directly from the scan tool. I can take one-touch screenshots directly from the scan tool and upload them to the cloud or keep them stored internally. Being able to capture both pre and post-repair data reports allow for a rapid information sharing with the rest of my team, also proving that the vehicle has been fixed and any outlying issues that exist unrelated to the repairs you're performing. It saves a ton of time and allows this information to be upfront for the customer when it comes time for them to pick up the vehicle. Being able to save these files locally also means that when I'm not around the vehicle and I'm not connected to the vehicle, I could sit comfortably at my workstation and analyze data. In other words, interact and manipulate the scan tool captures that I'm desiring to analyze. I can zoom in and zoom out and leverage measuring cursors to determine the amplitude or time in which a fault is occurring. Considering the wide range implementation of digital vehicle inspections, capturing this information makes light work of it. The integrated camera allows you to carry it along with you during vehicles inspections as well to take screenshots and camera photos or video if you desire, right there on the spot. So as mentioned earlier, I'm extremely impressed by this tool. It works very well. So far, it's been my first grab here of late, more so for experimental purposes, meaning I'm forcing myself to use it, but it's not hard to make that decision. Whether I'm working on domestic vehicles, Asian vehicles, or Euro vehicles, so far it has not let me down once, not a single time. It boots up fast. It's easy to implement. It's easy to grab and share and or manipulate data. It makes interaction between myself, my customers, and the rest of my team very, very simple. What more could you ask for when you want accuracy and efficiency? So stay tuned for other episodes of Mastering Diagnostics featuring the XTOOL Prodigy because we're going to dig into this tool a bit further and run it through the proving grounds. Thanks again. I'm Brandon Steckler with Motor Age Magazine. This is Mastering Diagnostics, and we will see you on the next one.